Today, I'm digging through the comments to answer your questions. Let's Talk Lions. Thank you for liking, for commenting, and subscribing to Let's Talk Lions. We have reached 2,000 subs, and in order to thank you for that, today's episode, I'm digging through the comment section. And I'm going to answer a couple of your questions because a lot of you guys, a lot of you girls have sent out some really solid questions that I've looked through and that I began to create episodes on. And then I thought, why not just do a Q&A episode? So without any further ado, let's answer some of your questions. First question comes from Dorian Garland. Dorian asked, do you think that you will get Trey Lance at 7? And what do you think about Parsons at 7? So twofold question. Solid. Well done, Dorian. Way to slip 2 in there. Love it. When it comes to the draft, I actually have a mock draft video coming out. Do I think the Lions could pick up Trey Lance at 7? Sure. Do I want them to? No, I do not. Ever since the Stafford-Goff trade and what we kind of are looking at there, my opinion, my personal thought is this. If we can't get Wilson, and I'm talking, if Wilson isn't at 7, don't draft a QB. Now, listen, by only the grace of God would Wilson ever make it to 7. There's no way he'll get drafted 2nd or 4th right in there. Most likely, a lot of people are putting him at Atlanta. My thought is this. If Zach Wilson is not available at number 7, I don't want to draft a QB this year. And before you go crazy, what I'm saying is, first of all, Zach Wilson will not be there at 7. I don't want to trade down to 2. I don't want to play this game where we're giving away draft capital that we just got with Goff or other capital in order to try to snag Wilson. I want to stay at 7. I think we can stay at 7 and do well. And that brings me to the second point. Your second question, Mr. Dorian, Parsons at 7? Yeah, I love it. That's where I'm sitting at. Very personally, I think Micah Parsons is incredible. I think Parsons would offer so much to our defense that we need. You look at Parsons, his intellect, his instinct. The guy's got a lot of wits about him. His instinct is incredible. That's something that I love about Parsons that I think we could use on the defensive side of the ball. It's something that we need. He's physical, he's tough, he's fast, he makes his way to the flat, and I think he would find a lot of success in a 4-3 defense. And if that is where the Detroit Lions are going, I think Micah Parsons is a phenomenal first-round pick for the Detroit Lions, sitting at number 7. Only if Wilson is not available, which he won't be. Question number 2 comes from Cameron Woj. Cameron said, I like the move. Looking forward to see what Brunell can do with him. I'm torn between taking either a DB or wide receiver with number 7 overall pick, or even entertaining trading down a few to get a couple additional second rounders. Thoughts? Go Lions. First of all, go Lions. Second of all, looking at this, as I just said, my number 1 would be Micah Parsons at this point if Wilson is unavailable at 7. However, let's just say Parsons is not available. Let's say we do go wide receiver route. I like it. I like it. We don't really know. We have a pretty big hole to fill on the wide receiver core. There's still Kenny Galladay's up in the air. So if we were to go wide receiver, I think Jalen Waddle out of Alabama is a phenomenal choice for the Detroit Lions at what we can get, especially because a lot of people are saying Smith will most likely could go to the Jets. There is that possibility. The Jets are in limbo. Who knows? Who knows what the jet skis are going to do? But with that being said, again, my number 1, if we could get Zach Wilson, snag him. If he's not available at 7, which he won't be, I like Micah Parsons, and then a wide receiver, specifically Jalen Waddle. Question number 3 comes from Rich Bader. He asked, what are your thoughts if Chicago signs Watson? My thoughts are, oh boy, I don't like it. As a football fan, man, would the NFC North be fascinating. This year would be a fascinating year, not seeing Matt Stafford in the Lions uniform for the first time in 12 years. Aaron Rodgers, there's all this talk. What's going to happen to him? He'll most likely be a Packer. Then you've got Kirk Cousins in Viking land. But to see Deshaun Watson in Chicago, that would be mind-blowing. First of all, he'd look great in that uniform. Actually, looking at Watson, looking at his style of play, if they were to retain a guy like Allen Robinson, I think Chicago would immediately elevate their game to not just playoff caliber, which they somehow were, I guess, this year. They would be an absolute dynamite threat with a guy like Watson. That versatility, the dual threat, the legs, the arm. Watson is a phenomenal quarterback. There's a lot about Deshaun Watson that I'm not a fan of. My thoughts, if Watson went to the Bears, that would be devastating for the North. Just devastating. Would it be incredible? Yeah, it'd be a ton of fun to watch. Games against the Bears would be much better than watching Mitchell Trubisky out there. Games would be a ton more fun. I would love to see Watson as a football fan in Chicago. But as a Lions fan, I would dread it because Watson's incredible. Watson is a phenomenal quarterback. We played against Houston this year on Thanksgiving. Watching the way that guy plays, he's electric. He's dynamite. He is just a ton of fun to watch. I think Watson would elevate that offense to a degree that they haven't been in quite some time. Please, Chicago, do not get him. The next question comes from Rafiki Gaming. I love it. How concerning is Goff's contract? Is he really worth the money that we have to shell out? I was excited about potentially drafting Justin Fields or another high-level QB in this draft. Do you think the Lions still take a QB or look to fill another position given Goff's arrival? Great question, Rafiki Gaming. I appreciate it. Thanks for dropping it in there. For the first part of that question, how concerning is Goff's contract? Quite frankly, I think it's great. I know there's some elements of it with the pay and this and that, but when looking at Goff's contract, we have a solid out at the end of the 2021 season. So if Goff performs terribly, if Goff doesn't show up and he just drops the ball, the good news is at the end of 2021, we can easily move on from him. We have to make a decision early in 2022 what we're going to do with him. That's kind of where it gets dicey though, because if he has a bad season, you know what? You cut him, you move on. But the problem is his trade value is low. If he performs poorly in 2021, this season with the Lions, his trade value is low. So now you have less of an opportunity to get anything from him while you're getting rid of him. Now, if Goff performs well, if he comes out there, we have a 9-7 season, Goff is like, oh, okay, it kind of looks similar to his 2018-2019 season, right in there, in between those two. His trade value is better. So at the end of that year, come draft time, if there's the quarterback that we need, that we're looking for, that Brad Holmes sees the future as the franchise QB, it will be easier to trade Goff and then to take that, get rid of him, get the franchise quarterback, no harm, no foul. However, if Goff has a phenomenal season, what's great about that is, okay, we have a developing quarterback who's experienced, who had a phenomenal year, but then you got to make a move. You either have to choose to pay him now, pay him for the 2022 season, and then you got to take that big hit monetarily. However, you got a great quarterback. We got about $19 million in dead money from Stafford and a little bit over a $27 million cap for Goff. So at the moment, we are $10 million over the cap. And we have, I think, about a month and a half. March 17th is the new season. We got about a month and a half to fix that, to figure out where we're going to do that. And that's probably going to come through a lot of restructuring of contracts. But that's just that part. Let's move to part 2 of this question. He asked if I thought that the Lions would still draft some sort of quarterback in the first round. My answer is now with Goff, no. I do not think so. I think with Goff coming in, it is the perfect bridge. It's the perfect gap filler. Goff is the bridge from 2021 to 2022. He will be the quarterback bridge that will get us to where we need to go, and we don't need to spend a first-round draft pick on a quarterback this year at 7. The only way the Lions would draft a QB, I really think is if we traded down, gave away a little capital for it to try to grab Zach Wilson potentially. Quite frankly, I don't see the Detroit Lions drafting a quarterback because there's not the immediate need anymore. Now, if we traded Stafford away and we didn't get Goff out of this, then yes. But because Goff is coming in, you have an experienced young quarterback who's been struggling a little bit, but has the opportunity to really make the jump, to prove himself, to fix the problems that have been made, and to really prove himself to the NFL, to the Lions, to the whole league that he is here to stay. All in all, when I look at it, I do not think the Detroit Lions draft a quarterback in the first round. Personally, we're either probably, my guess is defensive or wide receiver. I would love to get Micah Parsons. I don't think I could say that enough. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for the discussions. I love this. I love doing this, and I really appreciate you all dropping your thoughts in the comments. And hey, maybe making this a regular thing where we go through it once a week, once every other week. Maybe even throw it on the Patreon account, Let's Talk Lions. That's an option. We'll figure it out. And with that being said, I hope you all enjoy your day, and I'll catch you next time on Let's Talk Lions.